H23 here. Thanks for coming back to another reaction video. If it's the first time checking out this channel, a little background on myself. I was a corporal in the United States Marine Corps where I served from 2015 to 2019 as an 0311 or infantryman and went on two deployments. First one being Kuwait, second one going back to Kuwait, and also spending some time in Syria. Links to the original video and channel are going to be down in the description below, so go ahead and make sure that you check them out. Now, I've been getting obsessed with a lot of these people in particular who recap movies in a short amount of time. A lot of times it gets me, it acts like, for me, it acts like a little trailer to check out a movie, right? Because I don't end up watching the whole thing. I watch a little bit if it gets me intrigued, and I say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and watch this. But I saw 6-year-old boy who fought in battles becoming the youngest soldier of World War II. And the title alone kind of intrigued me. So, didn't watch it. Figured probably be a great reaction. So let's go ahead and get right into the video.
Hi, Mystery Recap here. Today, I'm going to explain a film based on the real-life story of the youngest warrior of World War II called Soldier Boy. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care.
Also, you gotta admit, his voice is just kind of soothing, the way he speaks, man. I've been binging his channel a lot lately.
The movie begins in Russia where a family of 3 sit by the river, enjoying their time. The youngest of them, Sergei Ilyashkov, boasts to his elder brother and mother about him being on top of a tree, when suddenly, German fighter jets fly overhead. The mother asks her kids to quickly hide in the bushes, but the 6-year-old claims he is not scared and strikes the jet with a slingshot. To everyone's surprise, he manages to hit the jets and explode them. But when he looks around, his family is gone. Sergei wakes up frightened from the dream and calls for his mother.
Okay, I was about to say, what the BS kind of thing is this? And okay, gotcha.
Just then, someone knocks on his door. Assuming it is his mother, he runs towards it, but a neighbor woman comes in panicking. She thanks God for keeping him alive, and informs him that his mother and brother are dead. The little boy cannot comprehend what she is saying, and wants to stay in the house to wait for his mother. The woman tells him that the Germans have attacked them and that he should run away. Just then, some soldiers approach their house. The woman makes Sergei run out through the window but is shot dead before she can join him.
You gotta imagine what's going through this kid's head. I mean, it just seems like it kind of happens out of nowhere, right? I mean, you just waking up one day, neighbor comes in, tells you gotta go because family just got killed. And 6-year-old kid, the fact that it was kind of like, I guess, him not wanting to believe it, right? That everything's still okay. How, like, it's kind of hard to think of what he must be thinking as far as, like, can he comprehend what's going on? What is the situation, right?
The little 6-year-old is now on his own, with no family and friends. As Sergei runs away from the house, he sees his whole neighborhood burning behind him. He calls for his mother in vain, and runs away from there. After running for a while, he ends up in the middle of the woods. The little kid starts to call for his mother to come and get him, because he is lost.
Okay, hold on, it's kind of getting me in the feels a little bit. I mean, I don't know how much, I guess, embellishment like a movie, the movie would actually have compared to the real life story. But if this actually did happen, it kind of breaks your heart quite a bit. Because now he's by himself. I don't know how. I mean, obviously, it seems like since he's gonna become a soldier, he's gonna probably join with the Red Army. So I mean, because obviously he's not gonna join the Germans, but he's probably gonna be running into them at some point. I mean, it's the only real thing I can see, or unless maybe he stumbles upon a camp.
At night, he stays in the jungle. The following morning, we see him drink water from a river, when the enemy soldiers approach his way. Sergei, knowing that they are dangerous, quickly hides inside a tree's roots. He is startled when a snake comes nearby, but doesn't utter a word or run away. Sergei is more scared of the soldiers than of the snake. The soldiers eat by the river and go away, after which Sergei takes their leftover food and devours it.
As far as, I mean, again, it could have just been for the movie. I don't think soldiers would be that relaxed as far as being like in enemy territory. That looks like a beer. Oh no, wait, it's a can. Never mind. At the very least, they would probably have someone on guard or some kind of watch somewhere. But I'm surprised this kid, again, don't know if it was just for the movie, is able to keep us cool pretty easily for being a 6-year-old kid.
For the night. However, by the end of the day, the little boy is exhausted. He hasn't had a proper meal in 2 days and has been walking with no destination. He falls down as he limps but doesn't stop walking. While on his way, he sees wild berries and devours them, but just then, an explosion occurs behind him, taking him by surprise. The boy gets dizzy and starts.
Hold on. Judging from the distance where that landed, that thing would have probably still gotten it. I mean, because it's not just in the area. I mean, I don't know what was shot. Maybe some arty, but some of that blast probably would have still like concussed him, right? And again, 6-year-old keeping us calm. And you gotta think about it too, like the weather. I don't know what part of Russia he's in, or even if he is in Russia, because if the Germans went there, it would have probably at least been on the left half of Russia, because assuming that's when the Germans were trying to make an advance into Russia. So for all I know, he might be at this point gets behind enemy lines quite a bit. Then again, no, I'm not really sure.
Explosion occurs behind him, taking him by surprise. The boy gets dizzy and starts to hallucinate someone coming behind him. However, even in such conditions,
it's probably just because of that blast.
He stands brave and tells the person he has a rifle and is not scared. He limps forward but falls unconscious after a while. While he is asleep, 2 soldiers approach him. The scene cuts to the Russian army base where Commander Kuznetsov waits for his patrol soldiers. They come in with the little kid who is injured and weak. When the soldiers claim they are on his side, the little boy opens up and introduces himself. The soldiers laugh when the kid shakes his hand with the commander, suggesting he introduce himself too. The soldiers feel affectionate with the little kid, and circle him around. They make him drink water and feed him. Even the otherwise cold commander takes care of the kid. A nurse named Katya dresses Sergei's wound.
At this point, at the very least, man, this kid's got some kind of PTSD. I mean, he almost got killed, at least twice by now, or 3 times, because 1, the Germans when they're barely coming. 2, as far as that explosion. 3, the elements not being able to eat. Weather does play a huge factor, and he didn't look like he had very heavy clothing, right, to be able to protect him from like rain or winds or whatever. But I don't know how well in real life this guy or this kid at this point was handling all this, or what's kind of going on in his mind as far as like he knows what's going on, but like he's trying to survive, right? So like what's going through his mind?
Wounds, and is charmed by his personality too. The kid asks her to draw a tank on his wounds, because he wants to be a soldier when he grows up. Even the injured soldiers talk to the kid, and feel lighter. Sergei is fascinated with the commander's gun in his badge. The commander too answers all the little boy's questions, and lets him play with his honorary pistol after taking the bullets out. Sergei shows him the tank drawn on.
I was about to say, you don't want to give a kid just the gun while he's got his finger in the trigger wheel. But I mean, he took out the rounds, to be fair.
His stomach, and boasts about being a soldier himself. The boy is healing very quickly. The nurse Katya asks the commander to let the boy stay with the battalion, but he disagrees, claiming that it won't be safe. He wants to send Sergei to an orphanage. The soldiers spend all their free time with Sergei. He is visited by many throughout the day. They bring him food sent by their families from afar, and even let him play with their binoculars. One day, a soldier goes to the commander to ask him to let the boy stay with the battalion. The soldiers have grown a close connection with the kid, and think of him as their own. His presence takes the weight of war off their chest. However, the commander is adamant about sending the boy to the orphanage, for his own safety. The following day,
I'm pretty sure in the U.S. military that would never happen at all. Obviously, you're not going to have a kid out there. Then again, it could be, if you did, it would be definitely like probably a big morale booster, considering that they all kind of see him as the son of their battalion, platoon, company. I'm not sure how many you have.
Enemies attack, and many soldiers are hurt. A vehicle comes to fetch Sergei to take him to the orphanage. The commander breaks the news to the kid, and gives him a wooden honorary pistol as a gift. The boy in turn hugs him, claiming that he is scared for the commander's safety. The commander melts in his embrace, and changes his mind. He asks Sergei to stay with the soldiers as his son. That night, the soldiers look for little soldier clothes for the little boy. They are over the moon to have Sergei.
Real quick, what do you think about that? Do you think it'd be a good idea to keep him there? Personally, I don't. I could see the benefits, I guess, as far as like the morale boosting again. I just don't think it would be a good idea.
Stay with them. The commander wakes Sergei up and gives him the clothes. He wears them and runs around, looking like a real soldier. The others start calling him their little soldier boy. As the kid runs around, the Germans launch an air attack on the battalion. The soldiers quickly take Sergei to a safe place and fight the others. The number of injured soldiers grows rapidly. Sergei wants to make himself useful, so he brings water to thirsty soldiers. One of them asks him to read a letter sent by his family because he has a bandage over his eyes. The little boy wants to help, but doesn't know how to read. He takes the letter and starts making up the things written on it, claiming that the soldier's cow is safe back home. When the soldier
I realized a lot of the soldiers, the majority of them seem a lot older. And I would get again. I gotta say it. Does this kid kind of comprehend what is going on? Does he comprehend like there's like a damn war zone out there? I don't know. I mean, it keeps running through my head. What is he thinking? How can he be so calm? Or how is he just seems to be handling everything pretty damn well?
soldier says he doesn't have a cow. The others tell him to go along with the story and laugh. He reads everyone else's letters in the same fashion and cheers them up. In the following scene, we see Katya and the commander talking. The two seem to be attracted to each other, but do not confess their feelings. Later, Sergei tells the commander that he is of the orderly position in the battalion and starts introducing himself as one. However, the boy then sees one of the soldiers' station destroyed from the attack. The commander teaches him to take his hat off to pay respect to the dead soldier. The next day, he insists the commander give him a mission and is given a task to distribute the letters among the soldiers. He completes his task efficiently and even makes the soldiers dance for him. The following day, Sergei goes a little far from the base with his binoculars. As he is playing with it, he sees someone's leg moving from inside a haystack. He rushes back to the battalion and tells the soldiers about his findings. The soldiers are skeptical, but go with the boy anyway. When they reach near the haystack, they are alerted to see two German spies hiding underneath. The spies are arrested, and the kid is praised for his intelligence. That night, the commander shows Sergei the legal papers for his adoption. He is now officially the kid's father. Sergei knows of the commander's feelings for Katya, so, to repay his kindness, he takes him to confess to her. But the two see her talking to a different man, and wrongfully assume she is interested in someone else. The base is attacked by the Germans again. This time, Sergei helps the soldiers with all his might, by supplying ammunition to the soldiers.
See, again, look at that. You got rounds going over this kid's head, and he's just kind of like dragging the ammo around. Dude, okay, I guess I probably should have watched a video that was more, I guess, of a documentary style. Probably not a movie, because I know a movie could be, iffy as far as like, the actual things that happen. I mean, things could be embellished, things could have been left out. It could have been that this kid was just, maybe, for all I know, this kid, Sergei, was in a situation where he couldn't get taken to like an orphanage. Maybe they were just extremely. I mean, because I know, what was it? What's the movie? At Hell's Gate, or The Enemy at the Gate? It's the one with the sniper guy, right? Over at, oh my god, there was a Call of Duty mission on it, and World at War. But when they had that scene of everyone charging, right? They had everybody there, like even like the really, really old people that could barely walk well. So I'm assuming a lot of this was probably more along the lines of them just needed people, right? So I'm thinking it's more of like this kid probably realized that, hey, he's got to be there because he has to fight for his country there, and that I don't think the whole orphanage probably would have been a thing, although I could be completely wrong. So I felt like since he felt like he was just kind of stuck there, might as well join the army there, become a soldier, and then I guess try to accept everything as it comes along. I don't know. That was a pretty big, I guess, off tangent thing, but I'm thinking that probably the real story is quite a bit different.
In the front line, but the soldiers there command him to go back to the shed because it is too dangerous outside. When he comes to the shed, he sees the commander and others panicking because the phone's connection with the colonel is lost. A soldier is sent to fix the broken wires. Sergei follows the soldier and sees he has been fatally wounded. He asks the dying soldier how he can fix the wires, and does it himself. The connection comes back and more troops are called. The 6 years old saves everyone's life. Later,
Think about it, he was exposing himself too, considering that where that dude got shot from. Damn.
we see the commander and Katya talking by the river. The commander finally confesses his love for her and asks her to be Sergei's mother. Katya is over the moon, but before she can say anything, a soldier approaches them and gives the commander a letter, saying they have been dispatched from the base. The following day, all the soldiers leave for their new base along with Sergei. However, on their way, they come across a minefield that blows off some of their vehicles. The commander is hurt while the group's orderly, who Sergei was close with, dies in the explosion. He cries and hugs the commander. They carry the injured ones with them and continue their journey to their new base. When they finally reach the other base, they meet the commander's leader, the general. He too is impressed by the kid's ambition, and congratulates the commander for having such a smart kid. The following day, their division is awarded a guard's banner, and so is the boy. He promises to save his country when the general gives him his badge. One night, their base is attacked brutally, and the commander is trapped under the ruins. Sergei cries for his father and tries to save him. He calls the other soldiers, who finally bring the commander out. The next day, Sergei approaches an injured commander. His hands were hurt while trying to save the commander. The kid is now an inseparable part of the team. He doesn't have a family beside them, and moves wherever they go in the war. The movie ends as the regiment is seen moving to another base. A voice in the background narrates that he even took part in the Stalingrad battle, and reached Poland.
Stalingrad, that's what it was. Dude, he was in Stalingrad? Oh my god. I don't know if there even is a documentary, but if there is, I gotta watch it. Or if somebody knows it, please link it down in the comments, man. Because I gotta see what's going on with this kid's mind. I mean, was he still a kid? Right? Like, was he still like a 6-year-old at Stalingrad? Stalingrad. Well, in any case, man, oh my god. Then again, man, it was a different time. People had to grow up pretty damn quick.
Poland with the soldiers. He is currently known as the world's youngest soldier ever, and the legendary story of his bravery is now spread for the whole world to hear.
Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about that for a minute. Man, the whole time, man, like, what's going on through his head? How is he accepting all this, or was it more in real life where he was just frightened? I mean, you can only assume the amount of PTSD this kid had, and then growing up. The one thing I'm kind of glad, at least as far as the movie went, I don't know how it probably would have happened in real life, was that the kid did not die. Because it typically seems to be what happens whenever I see a movie of something like incredible with someone that they do really well. They do these incredible things, and then all of a sudden they get killed, and that's kind of how the movie ends. So I'm really glad that it happened in this one, because I mean, that scene in the beginning, man, where he's just kind of wandering by himself in the woods at that point, it was kind of getting me right here a little bit, like being like a kid by yourself, scared, not knowing what's going to really happen. Again, not comprehending if he knows what is going on. Maybe he just knows that some people are trying to would kill him, right? Like in this case, the Germans. But being able to do that, and the biggest thing, I mean, obviously there's quite a few like big movie parts that, I mean, the little love story with the commander with Katya, but specifically in the scenes where they're actually shooting, they're engaging with Germans, and this kid's like literally in a lot of scenarios could be potentially shot, right? And got out of that explosion in the beginning as well, and then all this, even trying to like help it seemed like he was lifting a log, but interesting to see when he grew up, he still stayed with the military, or like what did he do afterwards, as far as like when World War II ended. Was he certain? I mean, because I know some people would continue to want to fight in different fronts that still had the war going on. I know that was the case with some other people in different armies. But kind of want to know what happened afterwards. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for being patient. And I will see you all in the next video.